There it is. The Sprintex 335. Fresh from Von Brenner. It's a monster. It's a monster. I'm not sure what we do in oil cooling on this one. I would assume. I'll have to check with John. See if we can get a peek inside. He's done some work here on these pieces for me. Can't really see inside there. Anyway, cool. Excited to get that thing. And we'll promptly see about getting that thing in the Scirocco. Alright, time for the wide body supercharged Scirocco. I'll take a little break. I'm working on the GTM. Having trouble trying to get the fuel sender to read on my gauge. So I've already ran out of fuel a couple of times. Car's been running good. Actually broke the tires loose a couple times and got it sideways once, and man, fun. But I got my new supercharger for the Scirocco, and this car's been sitting for years, and John at Von Brenner loves this car, which so do I, and he's dying to get this new supercharger on here, and so am I. So he's been doing a bunch of work, doing some research for me, and doing some machining for me, and getting the Sprintex 335 ready to go on the Scirocco. So he says everything is put back in the same dimensions, and that is what the Lyshome was, so it should go in here. I got to get rid of some oil feed lines. That one is a sealed unit, evidently. I got to do some cleaning up in here. And I'm going to see if I can't get this thing in here today. Get the battery charged up. And see if I can't get it to fire up. It's going to need some tuning. This thing blows a lot of air. A lot of CFMs. 335 per revolution or something, I can't remember, but that 335 has got something to do with the CFMs that it pushes, which is when this one's underdriven, it pushes more air than that Lyshome did overdriven. So it should be a monster, and I don't know if anybody knows. Even though it's been around a long time, maybe this is the first time you've seen it, but kind of a weird build I did. Diamond plate inside, bed liner on the floor, front and back, put the cage in it. The Lyshome blew up a couple of those 020s transmissions. Can't remember the names of them anymore. This is a 6-speed. Actually, John helped me source from Europe somewhere out of a turbo diesel Seat, and I redid all the brackets and that and made that thing fit in there. Converted it to a hydraulic clutch, and so far that thing's been pretty bulletproof. And then in the back, got the Dub 7. That thing wants to about rattle the car apart. Sounds good. Battery in the back. I wired this one with the painless wire harness. Integrated the dual Willwood master cylinders for the brakes. So I got front to rear adjustable brake bias. And everything's just been cleaned up and shaved. Underneath is just as clean and shiny as the outside. It's been a fun car. And even though it's been about 10 years since it's been done, it's still shiny. All the body work is held together. No rust spots coming through. So it's kind of nice to see one that you tried real hard on, tried to make sure it stayed nice, you know, 10, 12 years later. Still is nice. Needs cleaned up. Maybe a quick polish. Oh man, this thing's gonna sound insane. It's got a Tectonics tuning race header on it. So with that supercharger in front of it, and this wide open exhaust, pretty badass. Got everything hooked up outside there, and to make sure things work. That's a water to air intercooler pump. Everything's working. We're kind of getting fuel pressure, but it's got to bleed through some air yet. I got fuel in the tank. I'm going to pull the plugs out and probably turn it over a few times. Get some oil up on the top end. But yeah, I got that in there. It fits. I got to put a new belt on it. But I figure I'd get it running. See if it'd fire up. See how she sounds. But it fit in there. Got my tail brackets on there to where it holds it in the exact spot. You know, it doesn't, you don't want to put any pressure on it up or down, sideways, whatever. And what else about this car? It's running a electromotive standalone, which, you know, has a trigger for the crank. Riker wide body kit. Those are Corrado lights. Converted to 5-lug, and those brakes are Audi TT brakes, front and rear, custom made Boyd Coddingtons, made to fit when Boyd was still alive. Need to get those polished up again. Here's the plugs I pulled out of it. And they look pretty good. A little bit lean, if anything. But keep in mind, this thing didn't seem to be running right when I parked it, so I made a good call. I parked this thing right before the blower seized, so that would have been catastrophic. So yeah, plugs look good, and we'll turn it over, circulate some oil. There we're starting to get some oil pressure. Should be good. I smell fuel too, so it must be ready. It must be ready to fire. I'll get a flashlight and look down in there. Well, you missed it. The throttle was stuck halfway open. I didn't realize it fired up. Thing instantly went nuts. The whole garage is black cloud in here. Look what I did to my dog's bed, which was laying down right there behind the exhaust. And that was just from like a half a second of running, just went nuts. So I got the throttle unhooked. Let's try this again. Man, that was pretty wild. That's better. This one's hooked up to boost, so as it gets boost, the fuel pressure increases. That's idling right there. Filming when that thing took off racing, but I wasn't. Holy crap. That was just a tiny bit of throttle. Man, this thing's gonna go nuts. This is boost right here. That's just barely tapping the throttle. Damn near jumps up to 10 pounds of boost. It's gonna be freaking wild.